Linda here, the Scrapbooking Photographer. Welcome to my channel and thanks for stopping by. We have a few things happening today. First up is Mix It Up Monday, and that's where Tara O'Rourke from the Paper Snob community gives us a sketch to work with, and today's sketch is this one from Christine Steele Harden. And I'm going to combine that with 52 weeks of everyday photos, which is hosted by Miranda Weber. And these are the photos I'm going to use. This is my grand dog Riley, who's staying with us for a few months with my son Patrick. So they are my everyday photos today. And I'm also playing along with Scraptember, which is hosted by the Scrappy Sisters. And the prompt for today is new supply. So I have these beautiful new papers from the Modern Christmas pack from Stampin Up. And as you can see, none of those are particularly Christmas. These are beautiful gold metallic through that front one. Some of them are a little Christmassy, but on the B side we have plenty to choose from that isn't. So I'm figuring this is going to be part of a double page spread. I'm using a black background with the white willow on top. When I come to do the companion page, which will probably be a grid style or something that will combine with this sketch, I'll continue that black frame around the outside because she is a black Cocker Spaniel, and I've cut 1/2 inch off 3 sides so that it will be flush on the centre and meet in the middle when they're put together. So the first thing we're going to do is some mixed media on the white piece, not the black. Bring in the splash box. Now I've got 2 sorts of mixed media to do today. I've got this gloss spray, which is gilt. Now I know the paper's going to cover quite a bit of the page, so I'll just use this kind of very generously around the outside, so that it forms a little bit of a background behind those strips of paper. Rather than spraying, I'm just using the end of the nozzle to shake different sized splashes all over. And I don't need a lot, I don't think, because there will be gold in the paper as well. When it splashes onto the page, it looks sort of yellowy, but as you can see, as it dries to a more gilt type look. Let's have a close-up look at that before I put the next one on. There we are. You can see how as it dries it becomes a little bit more gold-like. Now the other one I was going to use is this dark one, just to combine the black with the gold, which is what the papers are all about as well. And these work with a water brush. I'll squeeze a bit of water onto this dark one, and that softens the palette a little bit, and then I can do the same with that and drip it around, and it will also dry, giving us that dark look. So I'll put the lid on that one and pop them away, and I'll pop this over to dry. So I'll just use the black piece as a guide while the white's drying, and I'm thinking if we have the big strips starting at 3 by 8, and I'll use this one first and see how that fits size wise. And that might be a little bit short, so I'll try another one 3 by 9. Okay, that's better. Now remembering the white's going to be slightly shorter as well, so we can cut this down if we need to, but we'll start with that and then choose 2 others to go with it. And I think it has to be this one with the gold. Actually, it looks really good against the black, doesn't it? And one more. Have them that way so that she's facing into each other rather than out either side. I'm going to bring the white in before we go too much further. Start getting used to looking at it on black, and that won't do, will it? Oops, put this in the right way. That way. Alright, I think we need something dark down here, so perhaps a piece of, I might mount these in black. I've made these 6 1/4 by 4 1/4, just to give us a little bit of an outline there, to highlight them within the page. And I've got this in here. Will all work out in the end. Just take a little bit off that one, and I think this one works quite well as an alternative, and we'll put that with the black mounting on top of it so that they stand out, and then bring this one in underneath. Cut a little bit more off that one. Right, before we go any further, I'm going to mount these off camera and get things kind of lined up the way we want them. So I've stuck those strips down, and I'm just coming in to put the black down, and I want a little bit underneath it to show, so line it right up in the middle there. And then this one I'm going to put up a little higher, and it's offset there, but I do want something to show underneath the photos just to separate the designs really from each other. So I'm going to attach this on here roughly, and then just tuck this underneath, because I only want a very narrow piece of black through there just to give some separation. Now I need 2 pieces, but that's okay because the join will be covered by the photos themselves. So now I've got those stuck on, these photos are mounted. We'll pop them on like that. So I stuck the back page down, and I've put the 2 mounted photos onto the page. We need a title down here, and it's simply going to be Riley. So what I've done is cut out 3 of the a la mode alphabets, which are quite thin and flimsy, so they're quite tricky to stick together, which is why I didn't do it on camera. And then I've cut out a gold one for the top, so that the black kind of makes it into a bit of a shadow. You don't see it when it's against the black, but against the white you do, and the gold just helps it stand out underneath. So I couldn't do it all in the black because we would lose it obviously on the black part. So we'll bring these in like that, and that just gives a little bit of a shadow to those letters, and also brings in a little bit more gold. And I'll stick those down and also bring in a bit of gold up here. So now those are stuck down, you can see how that just gives them a little bit of height as well as a bit of a shadow there. And I'll bring the gold in again up here. We're going to make a bit of a tag. It might be a little bit wide at this stage, so I'm going to cut a little bit off that one. And then we'll use the mat to make halfway. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this bold line here is about halfway, and we'll go up a bit and then in from the corners to where that intersection is, and that should make it fairly even on both sides. So I'm thinking I'll take that straight from the top there, and then get a shorter one to go next to it. Maybe, I think we'll use some of that and something else in between it. We might put some of this one in and then perhaps a smaller one of that, and that just brings this kind of all together then. So I'll just trim this off a little bit shorter. Alright, so we've just got a couple of little embellishments. I think we're going to go really simple with this and just bring in a little bouquet of black and white here and another one across from there. So remembering, as I said at the beginning, it's going to be part of a 2-page spread with this bit joining in the middle. So we'll just do these 2 little areas of embellishment at this stage, and then we'll do a 3rd one on the companion page when we come to do that. I've also got a couple of little gold hearts that I think will work well. They come in, they've all different sizes on here, so just put a little one there and here and up there. And just to be different, because we've got the title down here, I'm going to do a little bit of writing just up the top. So my journaling fitted quite nicely just in between these gold dots, which works well, and that leaves enough of a gap before the companion page starts over here. So a fairly easy page to put together. Thanks so much for the inspirational sketch, Christine, and thanks, Tara, for Mix It Up Monday, which brings that page to a close. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you'd like to see the companion page done or any other pages that I put together, then pushing that subscribe button will make sure that you get to see anything else that comes up, and I'd welcome you joining me on the journey. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and happy crafting.